Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Arcadia Roundtable, where I am joined by Luke. Luke, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah.
Are you really?
All good. I am. Yeah.
If you weren't, would you tell me?
Yeah, I'd let you know.
Yeah,
I'd be honest. I'd be open. Yeah. But no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm very good.
Oh, glad to hear it. So Luke's doing well and is tall, according to Isla. I see you somewhat at the top of your frame, but that's tall, fine. Yeah. That is fine. Yeah. And we're joined this week by Amin, the Demon Hunter, Troll, and all them other names. Amin, how you doing?
Doing fantastic.
You are lying. You're not doing fantastic. Good. Come on now.
I am.
Really?
A lot of exciting news that happened this week. A lot of things that I was waiting for years, I would say. And a lot of things that are coming soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's fantastic. That's good to know. I'm glad. I'm all right. You know, I'm ticking along, a little bit tired. Thanks for asking. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. We have some things to talk about today. Valve have given us plenty to talk about. There's been a fair amount going on in terms of game releases and things like that as well that we can touch on. But before we do, we're going to start where we always do, which is talking about the games that we've been playing. Because Luke's been playing...
Well, quite a bit. I've been playing quite a bit. I've been playing more Yotai. I'm fairly close to the end now. Probably maybe 5 hours or so, 4 or 5 hours. Mm-hmm. So I've been playing quite a bit of that. I've been suddenly playing a lot of Hades 2. Actually, I decided I was going to go back to that.
Hello. Yeah. Tell me more.
Yeah. So my wife finished it a couple of weeks ago, and by finish I mean roll credits. And she was really like pushed, I should go back to it, because I'd left it in a place where I'd beaten Kronos once. Oh, shouldn't say that, but I'd beaten the final boss once. I mean, he's the main boss of the game, but anyway.
To be fair, you'll get away with that one on the spoilers because it is the whole premise of Hades 2. So carry on.
So I'd beaten him once, and I hadn't done one of the other things you need to do, which I won't refer to. But I knew kind of what you needed to do to roll credits, and I thought, okay, I'll go back to it and I'll just see how I go. Mm-hmm. And kind of within the first hour and a half, I'd beaten Mr. C 2 more times. So I decided, okay, I'm going to really go for this. And I've tried to do the other thing. I haven't managed to do that thing once yet, but I'm really enjoying it. I unlocked the last weapon, which you'll know what the last weapon is, the last Infernal Arms, which is easily my favorite weapon.
Thematically, it sucks.
Yes, it doesn't make like the way that you use the weapon doesn't jive with the aesthetic too much of the game, but it's really fun. Like it's very, very fun, and it can become very powerful depending on the RNG of a run with boons and such. Mm-hmm. So I've been really, really enjoying that actually, and I think this week I racked up like another 10 hours in it, which is quite a lot for me. So yeah, I'm just plugging away at it, just trying to finish some more runs. I know what I need to do, and I want to roll credits on it. So I think probably by the time I've done it, I mean, I don't want to prejudge how good I'll be at doing these runs quickly, but probably like 50, 60 hours. I think I'll wrap it up.
Okay, so do you reckon? Are you without spoiling and giving things away? That the game will throw little bits of variety and extra challenges that it wants you to do, or it asks you if you want to do them along the way in case you're getting a little bit bored or whatever. Do you think that you're gonna try and bite at some of those, or are you gonna keep things as simple as you can and plow through to them end credits?
I think I'll keep it as simple as I can for now, unless I see some, because as you say, there's a lot of different things you can do to vary up the run, and you can get rewards for those things, and they look really interesting actually, some of them. So depending on what I need as a, like in terms of the the progression, I might look at doing some of those extra runs. But I think I'm going to keep it pretty simple and just just upgrade the things I need to, just do the things I need to, and try and get through and finish the game. But yeah, I've been loving it. I just think it's fantastic. It's kind of one of those where I dropped off, and then when I've come back into it, I've remembered how phenomenal the game it is and how enjoyable it is to run through. So yeah.
Okay, good. I'm gonna go. You may have some more games, but I'm gonna check in on the main first.
I do. I have a selection of games which I do want to
excellent
talk about, but we'll do a mean first.
Yeah, I mean, what you've been playing?
I did not play a lot of games this week, but I played a little bit of Arc Raiders. Played Peak with you and Skill yesterday. Yeah, I know you loved it. That's
your list. So tell me, so
played.
Arc, we've got people in the Discord that have put, I think this time last week they'd already managed to put 90 hours into it somehow, the likes of Chronic. But there's some other things going on in that game. Do you have targets? Is there something that you're trying to reach for in it? Like, why do you play Arc? What's your next objective?
So they do have quests, and quests unlock some blueprints, some items, mostly blueprints that you are after when it comes to quests. There is also, when you play, you get a chance of finding some blueprints for guns so you can craft them. I already have my benches already maxed out. I did that a while ago. There is something when you reach level 15, it's called trials. They are like weekly challenges, and those weekly challenges, like, they are divided into divisions, and they take like random 100 players and put them in the same group, and they compete in a leaderboard over scores, and each challenge must be done in one go. Like, when you go to a match, you need to complete that challenge in one go, and if you die, you lose progress on that challenge, and you have like stars to it. Like, there is levels, level 0, like 0 stars to 3 stars, and if you get 1 star, you get a normal reward, a common reward. If you get 2 stars, you get like a rare reward and the common reward. And if you get 3 stars, you get the
common reward.
Yes,
goes back down again. You have to try and land on that 2 stars when you get a common reward. Okay, so this sounds shite, but I would probably win if I were playing, right? So these challenges, right? There's 100 people on the leaderboard. But is the challenge, like, do you compete with them directly, or are you just trying to do the PvE better than they do?
You try to do the PvE better than they do.
But they're not like in the same instance as you, as it were. You'll go topside to do your arc raiding stuff, and they'll be elsewhere on their own. Just high score competing.
Yeah, they try, based on what I understand, they try to put the people that play at the same time in the same region with similar ways in the same 100 leaderboard. There is multiple, like 100 players grouped up together, and it doesn't. So the only thing that you get from being in the top, let's say 30, is you rank up twice in the leaderboard. You rank up twice in the division. There are multiple divisions. And if you get in the top 60, you rank up once, not twice. You will go only one division up. And if
can you rank down? Can you drop if you finish last?
Yeah, I think if you are between 60 and 100, you go down. So
high stakes.
And and it's weekly. If you rank up, you will just get some skins. That's all. That's only.
Yeah, I already bought the best skin, so it's not for me. Tell me about Peak then, because we played that a little bit. I was there for this one, but I wasn't really there for this one. We played a little bit of Peak, which is Not popular anymore, but a couple of months ago it was the popular friend slot game. I think it's been replaced by Are We There Yet and stuff like that at the moment. But we went a bit late because we ran a little bit late. We had a go at it. Peak is essentially it's like the Breath of the Wild climbing system, except that's the whole game, and you do it multiplayer. Try and get up to the top of a mountain or whatever. I played it with Amin and with Craig, who's in the chat there, and they both just abandoned me. So I jumped off the mountain and died and watched as a ghost. But it looked hella boring to me. Tell me about Peak. Did you like it more than I did?
I did like it a little bit more than you did, but it was not like, oh, mind-blowing or better than a repo. It was good enough. I think with 4 people, maybe it will be better.
How so? How would that change it?
I think there will be more funny moments and more people talking because it relies on proximity chat, and with 2 people it was fine, I would say. I don't know. It's
2.5 people. My ghost was able to
hard
talk
a little bit. Yeah. Well, after you left, it was just me and Craig.
Oh, you kept playing, so you did like it a bit then.
Yeah, a little bit. It was hard. I found it hard. Yeah.
To be clear, by the way, when I jumped off the cliff, when you abandoned me, I'm not sure either of you were aware. I was trying to push you both off the cliff with like a coconut, because when we were in the lobby area, Craig said that I had managed to pick him up when I was shoving a chest piece up his butt. So I was trying to do this with a coconut to knock you both off the cliff. You both left me behind, and I was like, well, I deserved that, but I'm also a bit bored, so I jumped off the cliff myself instead. That's how death came about. Death became me. I became a ghost. And I watched. So that was Peak. Okay, Luke. Let's loop back to your next one on your pile of games you've been playing. Wait, let's do it with volume. It'll be so much better.
That would be better, wouldn't it?
It would.
That would be a lot better. No, yeah, it's not one game actually, but because I picked up this, which is the AYN Thor, for everybody who's wondering, and it is a Android device. But it's a very cool Android device because it's effectively got the layout of a 3DS, specifically, except that both screens are AMOLED screens, and this is 1080p, and this is the functional 1080p equivalent, 120 hertz and 60. And so I wanted to get this because 1, it just looks cool, but 2, I wanted to do like proper emulation, specifically proper 3DS emulation on it.
Yeah, which is surely just like that device obviously as a 3DS emulator makes absolute perfect sense. Does it serve any other purpose besides that? Because it's surely all it does.
It can emulate. No, it can emulate anything because it's Android.
On the one screen, yeah.
On the one screen, you can actually put it on either screen if you want. Although I don't know why you'd have it on this screen. But yeah, so I mean, I've got quite a lot on here already because I've spent like a day sort of setting this up, getting all the emulators, but it's going to be quite hard to focus. But you've got like PlayStation 2 emulation, GameCube. So I've got quite a lot, and I'm just quite blown away by how good the experience is for the emulation. Obviously, for 3DS emulation, like that setup is ideal because of the 2 screens. And I'll try and load a 3DS game up.
What are you doing that? So the emulators that are on there, did it come out of the box with those, or did you have to dig around and find them?
No, I had to. Well, it's through the Play Store, right? So they're all on. Like Android emulations come on like massively the last couple of years, so you can get these. They're completely free access to these, right? So that's here's Kirby Planet Robobot running on it. And yeah, like I say, I've just been really blown away by it. It's such a cool, weird device. Even so far as you can do stuff like, I'm not going to show this fully, but you can actually use the 2 screens independently. So you can like for example, you could play a PlayStation 2 game up here, and you
Watch
could
a
run
guide for the
YouTube
PlayStation
down
2
here.
game down there, yeah.
Yeah, it's down here. So it's really like, or you could put Spotify on or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Netflix you could put on. But yeah, it's just a super cool device. So I've been playing just like different 3DS stuff and a lot of PS2 stuff as well. I played Parasite Eve last night, which was awesome. And obviously, with because the emulator is so good now, you can do like 3, 4, 5 times internal resolution. So you can make it effectively bring it up to 1080p on this screen, and it just looks amazing. Like it's amazing to look at some of these games like that. So yeah, I've been playing lots on this. It's really, really cool.
How is it for comfort and use versus your Lenovo?
Oh, it's much more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just smaller and lighter, right? Like it's bigger than, I'd say it's bigger than a 3DS, not by much. So if you've held one of those, you can kind of get an idea. I think it's a bit more ergonomic than the 3DS was. Some people use a grip with it, which is good as well. But compared to the Lenovo, it is a lot more comfortable just because it's just much lighter in the hand. I mean, it really is.
So on your next
probably a quarter of the weight,
like 14-hour flight that you go on, do you just take that device or do you take both?
It's a good question, and the answer to that, I don't know.
I thought I was going to get your Lenovo for a minute there.
Yeah, it depends on what I'm playing at. Like, I think if I wasn't playing anything modern, right? Like, I'd probably take just this. As God of War 2, PlayStation 2 running on the top there. So yeah, I'd probably just take this. But one interesting thing that I found on this is there's an app called Game Hub, which now does Steam emulation. So for example, last night I was playing Hades 2 on this, a local, like not a stream, and it actually ran surprisingly well. Now, you're not going to be able to run like big AAA modern games on this by any stretch, but for your indie games and such on Steam, like it's an actual viable alternative to like a Steam Deck or a Legion Go or a ROG or something like that. So yeah, it's just super awesome device. Really, really cool.
Yeah, so how much is it?
It's actually pretty reasonable. There's a couple of different versions. There's 4. I think there's 4 versions. So there's a light model, and then there's a base model, a pro, and a max. And the light one is not much point to it because it uses an older Snapdragon and Adreno combination, and it only has 8 gigs of RAM, I think. And then the base, pro, and max use the same CPU, GPU, so they use a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and a different Adreno. And then the only difference from there on those models is how much RAM and how much storage. So I went for the Pro, which is sort of the second one, and that's got 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage as well. And that one was £280, I think.
Oh, really? That is cheaper than I expected you to say.
Yeah, because ultimately, like, it's a Snapdragon processor, right? It's like, and it's extremely capable. Like, it's surprising how capable it is for emulation. But it's not, it's not bleeding edge silicon or anything like that. So, the things you're really paying for here are the screens, basically, and the form factor. Because they are, like, the screens in particular, quite custom for this because they have to be because of the size and the refresh rate and stuff. So yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. I've spent hours on it, just loving it.
Well, does it fit in a pocket?
It does. This will fit. This fits in a pocket. I can put this in my trouser pocket or in like a bigger jacket pocket. You can put this in it. So I think that's the thing that's blown me away more than anything, because I'm like, that it's small, right? like handhelds now are not small at all. So, but this is, it's got an exhaust there. Like, it's awesome.
Well, I'm surprised. I didn't expect you to pull out a new bit of hardware that I'd never heard of, and it to be kind of enticing as the handhelds go. I'm not
Yeah,
going to
go and
get
have a
one,
look.
but
Go and have a look.
it is.
No,
I haven't
you
got
go and
280
have a
quid
look.
to
You can.
throw at it, but
Yeah, but when you do, it's there for you.
yes. Are you going to get one? I mean, are you interested, or do you only get Valve's hardware?
Yeah, I'm only a Valve hardware kind of guy. No, I'm not gonna get one because I don't have any 3DS memories, or like I did not play any 3DS games.
It's about the memories, though. It's
Yeah.
about looking and going, "Wow, I've never played like those Fire Emblem games. I should get one." That's what's calling to me. Not your Kirby, but
I was going to say you'd be straight in for that. You could play the entire library of Fire Emblem on this thing.
yeah.
Am I? I don't know. It's an RPG, JRPG,
Not
right?
you, me. They're for me. You're not allowed
Oh,
Fire Emblem games. They're high fantasy as well. You're not going anywhere near it.
yes. Yeah, I'm not gonna get one. I like the idea of emulation and emulating also Steam games. I actually, when you mentioned Game Hub, I tried Game Native, which is I think an open source one that does the same thing. You can, but it did not work for me. I tried to download the game and it just did not work. Tried the Half-Life 1 just to see if it actually does boot up. And
I
then
did
I
try
tried
actually.
GTA 3.
I tried a little bit of emulation on my phone at one point over probably like a year ago, but the phone that I've got at the moment has a fairly large screen. I thought, oh, actually, this will be really good for like N64 emulation. Then I realized that all of the N64 games were wank, and I put it away again.
From the 2D ones are fine, but anything in 3Ds are painful.
Yeah, like just remapping the controls from its weird controller. I was playing Ocarina of Time, which everybody knows is a terrible game. But I thought I'll have a go, and yeah, no, I didn't stick with it. I did not stick with it. There we go, though. We're going to use that. Unless anyone has more games they want to talk about that you've been playing, we'll smoothly segue on to the first topic of the week, the big topic of the week, which is also around some hardware that's going to be delivered in the new year. Valve are stepping up with a new desktop that's almost console-like, a box for the living room, a little cube. It's a GameCube without a handle, a Gabe Cube, they're calling it. As well as a new iteration of the Steam controller and the Steam Frame VR headset that works standalone or as a PC VR streaming headset. Pretty big announcements for tech nerds and Valve fans. But where shall we start? Luke, pick a device and talk about it.
I guess we have to start with a Steam machine, right? I think that's the main.
Is that the main one for
you?
That's the big one that's going to make the most waves, biggest splash when it lands is the cube for the living room.
Probably, yeah. I mean, the relative size of that splash, I don't know, but it will probably be the piece of hardware from that trio that does make the biggest splash. Yeah, I mean, I've said this before, but I love the design of that thing. I think it's really, really sleek. It's nice to have a piece of hardware that's small, again, because it seems to be getting
and not attention grabbing.
Yeah, and just like something that can actually feasibly slot into many, many different areas of your living room or wherever else you want to put it. So I think that's cool. I think it's cool that they're just doing the one SKU, and by that I mean Valve are just making their own. They're not going back 10 years ago when OEMs were making the Steam machines and they were kind of uninteresting as a result. Power wise, it's a fine device. It's sort of sits somewhere like definitely much more performant than a Series S, and it kind of, in some respects, it's a little bit, tiny bit better than like a PlayStation 5, but in most other areas, it's probably just sitting underneath that. So it's interesting. Like, it's interesting the spec choice they've gone for. Obviously, they can't make it too ridiculous because it would be too expensive, and there just wouldn't be any point to putting that thing out there. But I think the play for it is just they want to sell this predominantly to existing Steam users. effectively, and give them a way to keep investing in the ecosystem and maybe buying more products. Because if you look at the specs, I don't know if I've heard a lot of different figures, but I think the one I saw was that, it's more powerful than about 50% of people who respond to the Steam hardware survey.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a significant amount of people that this would be an upgrade for. And it would just reinforce their behaviors in the ecosystem as it is. So, if the price is right as well, which I'm sure we'll talk about, but that will be, I think that will be lucrative to a lot of people, and then there will be other people who were interested in it because they're just interested in new hardware and stuff. And I think it's cool. It's like a cool weird Valve device, but I like it a lot.
I mean, I know you're quite interested in this, despite having PCs that go over the top on its specs and things. Tell me about it. What are you thinking of the Gabe Cube?
The Gabe Cube. I really like the looks of it. It's simple. It has some customizability, you can say, with the face plates or whatever you want to call them. They are even going to release some 3D models that you're gonna use. You can print your own stuff. I like what I see from spec wise and where they are going with this. They are trying to target like a lower price. They are trying to target
So let's
just
pick on that for
users.
a second, because in terms of targeting and things, you've mentioned their targets, but one of the things that they said, I think in their initial kind of reveal for it, is performance-wise, they're targeting being able to do 4K 60 frames per second using upscaling, FSR upscaling, across basically the current library of games available on Steam. So 4K 60 for today's games is what they're aiming for. The price that they're aiming for, we don't know for sure what it's going to be. You can only really look at the hardware and look at like comparatively what it would cost elsewhere. But I like where. Okay, that was just to kind of clear up what the targets were from what they've told us. So carry on with what you were saying.
So based on the interviews, I did watch a lot of interviews. They are aiming for 4K 60, which is a weird thing to say, that you are aiming to get every game running at least at 4K 60. It's with upscaling, of course. It's I think it will bite them in the ass in the long term. I don't think every game can run at 4K 60 with those specs. But maybe if they do like FSR and FSR 4, I don't know if they can fit FSR 4 into that machine. But if they do that, maybe 4K 60 the upscale. You know what I mean? It's RDNA 3. I don't know if they can do it for RDNA 3. They said that they want it to be affordable and accessible. They are
but they said that they were looking at Luke. No, we want it to be affordable, so just put fucking everything in there and charge whatever we want.
1,700.
No, because so they mentioned in the IGN interview that they saw the Steam surveys, and they saw that a lot of people are still using like older hardware, like a lot of people, and this is just in the median of like the specs based on a Steam hardware survey. So this is for, I don't know, like it will be low price. It's aimed for PC users that want to upgrade their hardware, I would say, and they don't have a lot of money.
That's something of a gambit, though, isn't it? Because by definition, those people that they're aiming for are people that actually don't care to update their hardware. And they've already got avenues to update their hardware. And they're looking at people that don't want to update their hardware and going, this is for you. And they might be able to make it enticing enough that people do. But Luke, you alluded to thinking that this is probably aiming for Steam users specifically, rather than trying to kind of eat into the market share of the consoles or expand to new audiences and all of those things. And actually, the way that Steam typically distribute hardware, you probably literally have to be a Steam user to even get onto their store to buy it, right? So you have to be a Steam user in some capacity. It's going to be something that means you don't get a lot of outside attention just by virtue of not showing it to people outside of the platform. Do you reckon that it is going to make waves outside of the Steam ecosystem, though? Do you think like Xbox, Sony, Nintendo are going to be looking at this thing and be looking to respond in any way, or do they just completely ignore it?
Yeah, no, I think they'll just ignore it for the most part. I mean, the only one it sort of somewhat impacts on, I suppose, is Microsoft. If only because they're going to have a similar device, in terms of whatever the next Xbox is. But even then, that platform will probably still be available more generally than this machine. I would imagine, as you say, this will only be available for Valve, whereas Microsoft's next machine will be available across online retailers and stuff like that, and probably some limited presence in stores. But I think that's by design from Valve. I think that their intention is not, they're not trying to impugn upon the console space as such. It's meant to be an additive device to someone who is already in the Steam ecosystem, much like the Steam Deck was, right? They weren't trying to target necessarily new people to come in. I'm sure there will be, but it's not the intention of this hardware is not that. So I don't think PlayStation, Nintendo, or Xbox will, they won't swing their plans around for this. It is what I mean.
Yeah, fair enough. So the you mentioned there again, the kind of closest alignment is with the Xbox strategy as we know it, in terms of what they're going to be doing in years to come. Is like it's a similar proposition of here's a handheld, here's a room thing for your living room. You can play wherever you want. You can take your games wherever you go. It's very similar messaging that they've been giving, except the big differentiator for Microsoft is obviously they've got Game Pass and they've got 100 billions worth of studios making games for their platform, multi-platform games, but Microsoft do own them. Whereas Valve's approach is they've got a massive platform and they've kind of left software development to everybody else because they're so successful and they can. I mean, what is Valve's kind of unique proposition that's going to get people on board onto the Steam ecosystem? And this isn't necessarily just for the new hardware, but like up to this point, as we know it, as it's established, why is Steam a good platform? Why do people love it so much?
I think mostly sales and customer service, like the
price of games.
A lot of discounts. Yeah, price of games are very low.
Customer service, though, tell me about that, because I've never had to engage with Steam customer service, and I wasn't aware of them particularly having one. Like you just mean the experience of using the platform, or as opposed to like I've got a fault, I need to talk to someone.
No, like talking to someone. They are not going to direct you to some AI like Xbox, or don't even care about you like some Nintendo or PlayStation. And they do refund you your game directly if you play the game for less than 2 hours and it did not work, or it was not marketed correctly. Like I saw someone saying that they played Call of Duty and they played the entire campaign, and then they asked for a refund because they saw that there is a lot of AI generated slop on it and it was not marketed in the game, and Steam just refunded them directly. Like they were, yeah, fine, they take your money. So that's one thing, but
you're right. So what you're saying there, they do typically, like their policies do typically have a view to protecting the people that are spending money on their platform. So their refund policy is a good example. I'm not saying they're infallible, and I'm not one of the massive kind of Steam fanboys that you see defending the platform at all costs, like Valve are saintly good guys. But they've done a lot that's earned them a lot of goodwill.
Yeah.
And you love it, don't you?
Like for example, the refund policy, the 2 hours refund policy, apparently comes from a lawsuit that was in Australia. Like Australia forced them to do that, so it was not like they just wanted
Do you
to
know
do
what?
it.
I thought, because that the 2 hour policy, I think they kind of kicked it off, but you get the same from. It's a little bit more awkward to do, but you get the same from Microsoft, and you get the same even from Meta as well. Like, it became almost standard across the industry, except Sony are quite stubborn and their refund policy is not up to par. But I didn't know it was based on a lawsuit, so that's where it comes from. It's not so much about them being nice. But it's not just
Yeah.
that, though, because they don't.
Yeah.
When I talk about their policies being about like protecting the people that are spending the money, the way that their refund policy works and their developer payments works behind the scenes is a little bit protected, right? So when a game is selling, they'll hold on to that money for long enough that if there is a disaster, they can refund people before the developer gets their hands on it and scurries it off to the Cayman Islands or whatever, you know. So they have got measures and buffers in place to make sure that people are protected using the platform.
Yeah, sometimes they go beyond that, like the Helldivers part, where Helldivers added like this mandatory sign-in, and this was removed from a lot of countries, and people already bought it from those countries that they just decided to refund people. Yeah, but mostly for Steam sales, I would say that's a good pitch for people that are in consoles. The UI is ahead of Xbox, like it's controller friendly, more console like. You don't have to deal with drivers.
I'm going to ask again, because you said the UI is better than Xbox. Like you can use a controller and all the rest of it.
Xbox
you
on
mean
PC.
Xbox on the PC, right? Yeah, okay.
On PC, not on consoles. On consoles, you can say maybe because less ads, but I don't know. But
Damn straight on the ads,
it's more. Yeah, you can even customize it. There is mods that you can customize your Steam Deck UI however you want and download whatever theme you like, because it's just HTML and CSS. Where was I? I was saying that.
I derailed you. I apologize. I don't apologize.
Yeah.
I never apologize. Just going to keep
I
making
said
it worse.
the UI, no drivers. You don't have to deal with drivers. You don't have to go out of the Steam big picture mode experience to update some AMD driver and Windows separately, and all of those things. And it doesn't have a subscription. You're not going to pay for a subscription to play online. So those are the main points, the selling points, I think, of this device.
The lack of subscription is obviously a big
console users. Yeah.
Big differentiator against consoles. Not so much differentiator against the other platforms that are available on PC, though. Look, you've got many PCs. Are you loyal to Steam in some way? Do you like them as a company? Is that a naive way of looking at them? Like, why is Steam so successful in the PC space?
I mean, I really like Valve, and I really, really like Steam. I wouldn't. I think there's some loyalty there, right? Because I think up until now, and who knows what the future holds, but I don't think they've steered PC gamers wrong, and I think PC gamers probably have a lot of affection for Valve, or at least I certainly do to some extent, because I remember what it was like before Steam, and it was absolute chaos in the PC space. It was awful, installing games, buying games, and so harmonizing that through Steam has been a real boon. And they just it's popular because they do a lot of good stuff. A lot, like Amin said, a lot of sales. Their prices are very reasonable. Their customer service is generally very good. It's a very accessible storefront. There's a lot of customization with it, and nobody really has come in to offer a compelling alternative. And it's funny because it's very difficult to move people away from Steam now. People are so entrenched in it So it is even for challengers like Epic, who have got a lot of money to
hundreds of
this.
millions on free games.
They haven't. I mean, they've not really made a massive dent or any conceivable dent in Steam's market share. So, it's difficult. I think Microsoft are obviously trying somewhat to change that, but then you know what? They're a publisher, so they also need Steam, right? They need it. So, I just Steam just do a lot of good stuff. Valve are good for that, and until they do something really bad, the people will be very loyal to them, I think. But yeah, maybe when Gabe goes at some point, we'll see if the company direction changes in what they do or anything like that.
Yeah, which has to happen at some point. There's always the risk there. So do you reckon, you mentioned their partnership with Microsoft, and that one's kind of interesting because the Steam Machine and the Steam Deck they can run Windows, but out of the box, they don't run Windows, right? Which in some ways makes their relationship with Microsoft in terms of gaming friend and foe, right? Do you reckon they'll ever get to a point where Steam's operating system can disrupt the Windows market at all, or provide a compelling alternative, or is it always going to be DirectX 12 and on for forevermore? Like Microsoft have that stranglehold and will never let it go.
Yeah, I think they've probably got that stranglehold in. I mean, you already see like some hardcore gamers, just trying to absolve themselves from Windows and just go through Linux and obviously through different Steam interfaces and stuff like that. So that will happen, but en masse, no. I think Microsoft pretty much have that one locked down. Windows is just too, and the related stuff is just too ubiquitous at this point.
Mm-hmm. Fair. So, final question on the Steam Machine: are you going to buy one?
I am not going to buy one,
regardless of price. If they come out and say it's 50 quid, you're going to be like,
50 quid. 50 quid a pick one up. But I mean, realistically, like 400, 500, 600 pounds, something like that is probably where it's going to land. And I just don't have any use for it. It may be different if I didn't have a gaming rig in my living room, but I do. So, not that interested in it beyond it being a cool piece of hardware. But I would just never. And I've bought plenty of pieces of hardware where I've not used them very much, but I always intended to use them more. So this one I really wouldn't have any use from the outset. So no, not for me.
Okay, and Amin. Same question.
You already know the answer.
I know the answer.
You know the answer, but yeah, I will buy all three of them.
All three Steam machines. They're only going to manufacture three. This is
not
breaking
Steam
news.
Machine.
Straight off the factory line. All three of them, please, Gabe.
I would probably buy three of them, by the way, because I will buy one for each of my brothers. Yeah, I will buy one, even though I'm not gonna use it too much or not use it maybe at all. Maybe I'll benchmark a game once or twice on it just to try it. Maybe if I have more rooms and the TV in other place, I'll put it there. But yeah, I will buy it even though I'm not gonna use it, just because yes, I am a Valve fan, and yes, I am also a tech enthusiast, you can say, and I like Linux. I like the ecosystem. I want it to grow, so I want to support it. Yeah,
fair enough. See, I look at it and I don't need it. Like, there's no scenario where I would use it to play games, so I don't need it. But my wife plays quite a few games now, and she would like access to Steam, so it would potentially be a good option for her. And then you start kicking around like 500, 600 quid, and I don't think she'd be that interested. So she's not quite the audience. She's almost the audience and not quite. Both my kids have got PCs, and this thing would blow their PCs out of the water, so it would be options for them. But they're in this category of people I was talking about earlier that could potentially have upgraded already. They've got upgrade avenues, and they've just not sniffed at them because they don't really care. They're happy doing what they're doing. So I'm not sure if they'll bat an eye when this thing comes out or not. But yeah, that is what it is.
I don't think it is for us, and I don't think it's for most of the people watching now. It will be probably for most Steam Deck users. They used the metric. I actually saw the interview today, and they were like, oh, we saw 10 to 15% of our Steam Deck users connecting their Steam Decks to an external display. So we decided to make this. And Steam Deck is small. They're not aiming for the majority. They're just aiming for the Steam Deck users, for people that have a console and want maybe to dip their toes into PC, or they already have a PC but they want another PC on the living room because they have a TV there where they can play their games. It's not going to do a lot of damage to any of the console players. Like Luke said, maybe Xbox, but even Xbox, I don't think so, because the next Xbox will be a PC and it can play Steam. So people that are in that ecosystem will stay on that ecosystem probably until the next Xbox, and then they can just play Steam. But yeah.
Yeah, and I reckon so. The Steam machine, when you have like a new console launch, and it needs to build up a sustainable ecosystem. Historically, when you had like the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and some of those beyond, it became necessary to get a certain number of games, to get a certain audience size, just to be able to make it viable, to get games running on the things, to get publishers interested in it. Steam don't have that problem. They need, between the Steam Deck and the Steam machine, and I guess the Steam frame, they need like enough to make it worth maintaining the operating system, to worth keeping it up to date, but they don't need to make it a viable ecosystem on its own, because Steam is already that. So it doesn't need to sell well, does it? It just needs to be an option. And
people buying this will probably, it will not be a big number. Maybe in 3 years they will sell 5 million, or 4 years they will sell maybe 5 million, and that's like a good case scenario, I would say. But those that buy it will like buy a lot of games. Those are hardcore gamers and they are interested in Steam, and Steam has a lot of sales, so they will buy loads of games, way more than your average console gamer, and that will make them way more money than people think, because it's a small number of players, but they will buy a lot of games.
Good. Let's talk about then, because the next bit of the next bit of hardware that we're going to talk about from Valve is the controller. I think we'll go on to next. So the Steam controller of old tried to reinvent controllers in general. There's been this discrepancy between PC gaming and console gaming, where obviously you've got a keyboard and mouse on a PC. Console gaming, you can sit back on your couch, it's nice and comfortable, you've got these analog sticks and they do the job, but you can never match what a mouse does. Valve looked to address that last time around by reinventing the controller to remove analog sticks and put essentially trackpads with haptic feedback on them were their gambit to improve the situation and give you PC-like precision on a controller. And I got one and it was kind of terrible. But they're having another crack at it. This time they're going for best of both worlds. So you've got a Steam controller, looks kind of ugly. I'll bring up an image of it in a minute if I can be bothered, but it looks kind of ugly, quite a big thing. It's got best of both worlds. You've got analog sticks laid out kind of like a PlayStation controller, so symmetrically positioned. And you've got the haptic feedback trackpads underneath, as well as your usual kind of array of face buttons, shoulder buttons, and paddles on the back. So it's a do everything controller. Luke, are you gonna lick it?
I mean, it's not an action that I'd associated with it, to be honest, but maybe.
You can do so many textures with the haptic trackpads.
Yeah. It looks I think when I first saw it I was like, this is super ugly. like it's a super ugly controller. But from the impressions, it seems that it's very comfortable, which, you know, kind of makes sense because often things that are very ergonomic don't necessarily look the best, but they're not designed to look like that. So,
what impressions
kind of
though? Are these trustworthy impressions, or are these insider impressions? You know.
Yeah, no, DF, for example, talked about it. They got hands-on with it and they said it was very nice and very comfortable. So they had less criticism of that, for example, than the Steam machine. So I think it looks interesting. I'd really like. I'd wanna, if I could, like try it somewhere before I actually decided to buy it, because I don't know if I would particularly like it. I do like that they've got the trackpads on it to some extent, because I think that's a cool extra functionality of a controller. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I'll wait and see what when it actually comes out, what people think about it.
Disappointing. Go try it for yourself. Might work for you and not for others. You know. What about you, Amin? How are you feeling about this controller? You don't even like controllers, right? You're always going on about your keyboard and mouse.
Yes, I am a well-known controller hater. Not really. I just don't think FPS games really work really well on controllers.
You're saying you're willing to shed your principles if it's for Valve.
No, you will be surprised. I actually said this before, but you will be surprised that I think the Steam controller is good for FPS games. I'm gonna share with you something. Do you guys know what Flickstick is?
Yes.
No? Yes? Is it?
But you tell me about it so the audience know as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna share a video or two videos.
I'm busy. I can't do a video now. I'm watching the Valve one.
I shared that. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Flickstick is an evolution, I would say, of controller aiming in FPS games. So imagine this part, like
I don't need to imagine it. I can see it in front of me.
Yeah, it's your player, and like if you push it forward, it means that you're looking forward, and if I like just push it back, it doesn't look down. What it does, it looks behind you, and if I push it like on the angle,
no, I don't like that.
It's like your character, you're moving your character's head like just horizontally, and you combine it with like trackpads and also gyro aiming, and it will make it like the gyro aiming and trackpads is for looking up and down and like on an angle and stuff like that. And it's really works really well on games like Counter-Strike and a lot of FPS games. The Steam Deck community is into this type of aiming. It's part of the Steam input, because it does give you a lot of options to customize your inputs. You can have like menus that you pop when you touch the trackpad and all of that.
Let's entertain this, right? So you got this flick stick, right? I want to know. Have you tried it yourself?
I did try it a little bit, but it's a it's a
nasty learning curve, I would imagine. Yeah, but tell me. So you've got your controller in your hand, right? Your player is facing forwards by default. You decide you need to look over your right shoulder, so you hold down and right, and your view will flip there. What happens when you let go of the right stick?
It will stay there.
Okay.
And then you will have to, so it will stay there. And the forward is forward, like just looking where you're looking right now. So it's a weird thing. So I did just share like a video showing. Yeah. Well, but people actually play really good with it. I saw some Counter-Strike players do it, and Counter-Strike is very fast, like a FPS game. If you miss your shots, you're dead, and you're still able to use it. So yeah, I will buy it and I will try FPS games with it. I will learn because the Steam. I never used it because the Steam Deck is a portable PC, and I don't play a lot of games on my Steam Deck, but I play my games on my PC. So if I have that controller, I can do that on my PC. Can you share the video with people? Can you show it to them?
Of course,
ASAP?
I might. Have you sent it to me?
Okay. Yeah,
Where
I
is it?
sent it to the Arcadia Roundtable.
Oh, I'd never heard of it. What's that? What? There's so much text in here. Demon Hunter, what have you done? Okay, fine. I'm getting it. Getting it. Hold on. One moment. Here comes the trailer. Okay, it's not a trailer. This is someone using it, and it's playing now. Okay, so I'm going to kind of watch this while we're talking. Luke, are you going to become a flick stick player?
I think I'll pass on that one. I think I'll pass.
It doesn't look terrible. I can understand why you'd try and refine controls, and it is a funny thing that like for first-person shooting games, the best device available is one that was made for Excel rather than one that was made for shooting people. And these controllers that were dedicated gaming devices have not managed to match up to it. I mean, they have in some ways, right? For comfort and for fun, have at it, use a controller. I'm not wading into the controller versus keyboard and mouse kind of battle of which one's superior. But for accuracy, you just can't beat the Excel pointing device. Unless Flickstick replaces it, which it's not going to because it looks less intuitive than using a controller.
Yeah, it is for it's for a niche audience. It's for so they need this controller for some games, some old games, because when you are playing on Steam OS, sometimes you open an old game, and old games on PC have those launchers that asks you about changing some like graphics settings and all of that, and pressing launch. Sometimes they just ask you to press launch, which is weird, but you need it for that as a mouse, so it's kind of a requirement. They also saw people and feedback based on the forums and all of that. They said that people that have a Steam Deck, once they plugged in their Steam Deck into a TV, they missed having those trackpads. So they do like the trackpads, the Steam Deck owners.
Yeah, I'm curious to try the trackpads again. Give them another go after version 1 was almost there. Like, it was quite a nice idea that just didn't quite pan out on the first controller. Because they're not just, assuming, I haven't watched this trailer with sound, but assuming it's the same as the first one, they have different vibrations and haptic feedback to make them feel more like a stick or buttons, depending on what you need as you're using it. If you can believe that. I'm assuming they've retained and brought forwards that technology as well. So that's it. That's the controller. I'm happy to give it a go. You're happy to give it a go. Luke is going to wait for other people to tell him whether he should give it a go, which is reasonable. Let's talk about the third and most exciting, for me at least, bit of hardware. The Steam Frame, which is Valve's new VR headset that has quite a lot in common with the likes of a Quest 3. It's a VR headset in the way that we already know and love them. It works as a standalone device, running the full Steam OS and running full PC games at some limited capacity. It also integrates very nicely, from what we gather, very nicely with a Steam PC build. So it comes with a wireless dongle. You stick it into your main PC, you stick the headset on your face, and you can access your Steam library to play full PC VR as well. Refreshing for me, because VR over the last few years has been driven by Meta and has lost its focus on PC VR games as far as I'm concerned. So this is a chance to kind of reignite that space. Luke, start with you again. Steam Frame, what are your thoughts on it? Is it an exciting device? Is it a waste of time? Are you going to get one? All of the questions.
Not an exciting device for me.
Mute.
Just not that interested. So I'll let you two take this one.
Okay. Do you have before that? Do you have a Quest 3, Luke? Out of curiosity.
No.
Oh, you're just not into it. Does it make you sick, or do you just not care for it?
It just made me a bit nauseous, yeah. But I'm just not that fussed. Like, so I have at the minute I use the PSVR 2 through the little box thing for PC. So I have a VR option. But I just don't play it enough. Again, it's just something that I'm not ever that motivated to play. Even like Alex, Half-Life Alex, I played a couple of hours. It was really cool. Just didn't want to go back.
You.
Yeah, and it was a great game. Like, it's a great game, but like it's just the VR-ness of it just doesn't.
And
doesn't interest me enough?
Is that because you have to shut off from the world, or is it just too much hassle to put the thing on your head, or like what is it that makes you?
I think it's a bit. I think it's a bit of the it's the hassle of doing it. I don't. It's not particularly comfortable to me.
Mm-hmm.
To put on a VR headset and kind of be. And I know you can see it, obviously, but I think optimally you should stand for a lot of this stuff. And yeah, I just don't dig it that much. Maybe that'll change in the future, but right now, yeah. And so the Steam frame, when they announced that, it was just like, okay, cool. Like that's going to be interesting for people who are into VR, but for me, it's not interested.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with any of those points because you're obviously well entitled to feel whatever you want to feel about it. Amin?
Yes.
You are more into VR and you do have a Quest 3, so you're already in... I know you use it for PC VR as well, so you're already in the Steam VR kind of mode. This device is spec-wise, comparatively, not a massive leap away from the Quest 3, but are you looking at it with anticipation? Are you eager to strap it to your face? Like, what do you think of the Steam frame?
Yeah, it's similar to all the two previous devices that we mentioned. Do I need it? No. Do I want it? Yes. I will. I'm excited for all these devices. I'm excited for the Steam frame to try a standalone like PC VR, which is like a Linux running on an ARM chip that does VR as well. It's mind blowing. I know that people don't care about that technical detail, but it has a huge implication for the future of Steam. But yeah, I'm excited to try it, see how good it is. Compared to the Quest 3, I'm excited to see how good it performs in standalone as well. I'm hoping that the foveated streaming is a big deal, and the bitrate, increasing the bitrate where you're looking, is something that makes the image quality really good and makes it easy to just set up a PC VR, because PC VR, it works and then it doesn't work randomly. Sometimes it just fails. This Asa a lot. Like
Very
a
well.
lot of times it just it just fails and you don't know why it's failing. It just stutters. It's weird stuff. Some people have a 5090, but it just stutters because it's random stuff. And I'm guessing I'm hoping they get it to work really, really well this time. Yeah, so I'm interested for the future of this device. I'm interested if this will push people to make more VR games, and see the performance of non-VR games on it as well.
Okay, fair enough. See, I don't care for the non-VR games on it whatsoever, but the things that interest me about it are kind of related to what Luke was saying as to why he doesn't feel like sticking this thing on his head, like the hassle associated with VR. You touched on it as well, I mean, with things sometimes just not working. The things that really get to me are, one, my Quest 3 with its head strap and headset is just too bulky. I don't like wearing it, which is a shame because I've had previous VR headsets I didn't have that issue with, but this one I don't know, it's just too big and too heavy. Two, though, is I don't like Meta, and this is really difficult. Like Facebook and Meta is gigantic evil corporation or whatever, and their VR push was kind of a redeeming feature for me, because when VR was kind of dying on its ass, Meta came along with Oculus and started funding big, beautiful, powerful games. They've got Deadpool coming out in a couple of days, I think, as well. So they're still funding the occasional game, but as a company, they've pivoted away from that pretty hard. So these games that are still coming out are like the leftovers of things that they funded when they thought games were their way into VR, and they've really moved their focus. There was one of the Meta VR projects that came out this year wasn't even playable on their VR headset. It was only playable on the phone. They've got this weird push into Meta Horizon Worlds or whatever, which they want their metaverse that they always talked about, has really taken over their direction for VR. They cancelled the Next Quest Pro headset and all the rest of it. Their feature set is just likely to keep moving in that direction, which is, I understand it from their perspective, but for me, I just want to put a nice headset on and jump into a VR world with nice high fidelity and shoot stuff and throw things and eat cheese or whatever. I don't know, whatever you do in a VR game, right? So the Steam frame, if you were to give me that device exactly like for like spec with a Quest 3 plus eye tracking, because I like it, that would be a worthwhile device for me, because my hope is I stick it on my face, and I've got Discord, and I've got my Steam friends list, and I launch whatever I want and play with people. And the Meta Quest Steam Link VR experience just isn't quite there. Like, Discord is a massive miss. Not getting your Steam's friends list until you've already got like onto the PC and onto Steam and all that kind of stuff is a massive miss. And this thing should just take down some of the barriers and make it so much easier to say, hey, I've got an hour to play a game. Bang, VR game. Fits perfectly. Just get on and do it. Don't spend 20 minutes setting up. So for me, just those things, that ease of use is a massive game changer. But the fact that it is designed and emphasizing PC VR games, because back in about 2018, when that was Meta's focus, there were a lot of good games. You had like your Lone Echoes and your Robo Recalls and Asgard's Wrath and all of these kind of things. And it went by the wayside as that company changed direction. Valve are coming along saying, hey, PC VR is real. Please reinvest here. I don't know who's going to do it. I don't know what publisher is going to look into that space and say this is worth spending money on. It's probably not going to change things hugely, but it will change them a little bit. It will mean that we get some games that are actual VR games. It will mean that some people want to explore that space again, and that should make a big difference for me. So of all of the Valve devices, I don't expect the Steam frame to make massive waves on a big scale, but for me personally, it's the one I'm most enthusiastic about by a distance. So
I think also one big thing is that the OS running on this device will probably be open for anybody to use on if they make their own headsets. Probably not, because they want their own store and all of that.
Well,
but
no, you say that. At the moment, that is actually a space that Android have a firm grip on. So for Steam, like, it's possible that other OEMs will decide that Steam is a good option for them, but I think the broad kind of VR ecosystem is going to lean towards Android for the foreseeable future, because most people that are interested in that space are not Valve and are not focused on VR games, right? So, you know.
Yeah. And also part of what you said Meta, like, is just going where the money is with the AR and all of that. Steam doesn't care. It's just Gabe loving VR and talking about VR for, I don't know, like 15 years now. And they could have just made it like a VR headset that just streams your games from PC. But they
That's all
said
I
no.
want, but
We're going. Yeah, they said no. We're going to make Linux work on ARM, and to make Windows games work on Linux on ARM. And that's just mind blowing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it has it's not for everybody. So people that's like augmented reality and just want something maybe for I don't know, watching movies or productivity. It's not made for them. It's clearly for gaming. This is just to put it on, play games, nothing else.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, you can do some Linux desktop stuff on it, but you can also, they say that you can install Android VR games on it, and they are open for people to bring Android games into that ecosystem. So I'm interested to see that. And it has, for people that are saying it's monochromatic camera and all of that stuff, they have an extension part in the like under the nose parts where you can plug like a full-on
A
color camera and all
DLSR,
of
like
that.
an elephant.
Yeah, they have an extension. You know, the Valve Index had it. Like it had like parts where you can
Yeah.
mod it. And this is also moddable. They talked about it. I don't know what are the possibilities, but since it's Linux, the possibilities are
Mhm.
huge. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm interested in that one. I don't know what it's going to cost and whether I'll be able to stretch to it, but of all of those devices, that's the one that will be top of my list. Like I want that. It will make playing VR easier for me. And I miss the eye tracking of the Quest Pro that I used to have, because it does make a difference for wireless VR as well. So hopefully it all works out the box as snappy as I'm hoping, with that Discord integration that I'm after, and changes the way that I play those. But that's probably enough of the Steam hardware for now. Let's
I
yeah.
I have some things to say. So
Well, you're
I
not
feel like we
allowed.
did not say
Stop.
bad.
No, go on. Carry on.
I feel like I did not say some bad things about the Valve. I don't want to look like just a fanboy here, because I did say I did say a lot of bad things about the hardware when on Discord. And yeah, the Steam machine having 8 GB of VRAM is just confusing. Monochromatic, it'll like cameras is like they are cutting corners, and I don't know how much they benefit from cutting corners there. Um, yeah, and the marketing of it, they say that 4K gaming, 60 hertz. That's a weird statement to make. And just saying you can play, they say this, you can play every Steam game on these devices. You can't. Anti-cheat is a big problem for Steam hardware, and also not every game is compatible. Almost all the famous popular games are compatible, but yeah, anti-cheat is a big deal. There were some misleading things in the video of the announcement, like people were I know the VR people were pissed with the, like when they were playing Hades and she was like looking at a big screen in front of her and the surrounding was colored.
Right.
Like
Which is
that
like,
will not be the reality.
that's a fun one to, well, it's not a fun one to miss. It's a little bit of a shame to miss on that one, because that's like a use case that people understand. So it's a very marketable, that's what people understand about like the Apple one and things like that, what that device is actually very good at. Not that I personally care for it, but a big virtual screen in your natural environment is appealing. And yet I have never used that and will never use that on the Quest 3, because it's so it's not a cheap feature to deliver, because I would say the Quest 3 is like, it's made for that and it's not good enough for that, for me personally. I've never tried the Apple Vision Pro to know how good that is, but that costs $3,500, so yeah. But I get what you're saying.
People
Monochromatic and it's a little bit deceptive maybe.
People were pissed at OLED, but I don't know. Some people say it's not, OLED is not there yet in terms of brightness and all of that. Yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to say, and I wanted to also ask you about, like, what is your price expectation on this Steam frame and also the Steam machine?
Well, okay. I don't have a price expectation for the Steam machine, because I've not even looked at the specs of it, let alone tried to look at what comparative stuff costs. But I'm hearing from other people that it's broadly similar to the consoles in terms of hardware. It'll probably be broadly similar in terms of price as well, as in the current ones, which are quite a lot still. I don't know. I don't keep track because I don't intend to buy them. So the VR headset would be nice if it didn't have so much on board in terms of compute power and whatever, but probably 700 quid as a guess.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair. I'm expecting the same.
the Valve hardware has not historically been particularly cheap for what it is, because they don't make things on like a massive scale, and they don't, like you mentioned, some cut corners, but they don't cut that many corners. The Index was a very expensive VR headset relative to other headsets that were on the market when it came out, so I don't think they necessarily try to undercut any competition because they operate in their own space and don't really have competition in a sense. So yeah, I reckon probably about 700 quid for that thing.
Yeah, I expect also 600 quid for maybe the Steam machine and 700 for the Steam frame. So,
and hopefully
yeah,
not the supply issues that the Index used to have, because that came out and was expensive and you could not buy it, or you could buy it but you couldn't buy the controllers for a long time. Yeah. So let's move on though to the next topic of the week, because we did have a couple of other things. One that surprised me, actually, this surprised me a lot yesterday. So on Fridays, we try and organize our community games. We have the Gaming Arcadia community games. And I was not aware that Call of Duty Black Ops 7 was out and available to play yesterday, which is unusual because Call of Duty games have unlimited marketing budget and they release at the same time every year and everybody knows about them and they make a splash whether you care about them or not, which historically I haven't. I'm not a big Call of Duty person, but I've always known when one releases. This one's been strangely muted. Might just be me putting my head in the sand and not paying attention to what's going on around me. Luke, have you seen much of a push or hype around Black Ops 7? Have you played it at all?
No, I haven't seen too much about it. I think, like you, I was kind of I kind of forgotten about it, and then it dropped suddenly. But I mean, you know, we're in certain social media bubbles where that wouldn't necessarily be that controversial, you know, because it's a franchise that's very casual geared anyway. The only thing I have seen about it since coming out is quite a lot of negativity, I suppose, mainly directed at the campaign more than anything. I've not seen too much about the multiplayer at the moment or anything like that. But yeah, it just seems certainly not, nothing in the circles that I run in, like nothing like the hype was for Battlefield before that was coming out. And then also, not kind of nothing like the sort of ongoing hype there is for Ark, but I'm sure it will still sell ridiculously well because it's Call of Duty. But yeah, it's been an interesting cycle, this one. Nothing like Black Ops 6, where I felt that was much more visible, so.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of where I am with it. I mean, same stuff for you.
Yeah, I have not seen a lot of people play it, and I forgot about it as well until I saw that it dropped yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday. And it's not just us. I looked at the Steam numbers. I know Steam numbers don't reflect reality, but I'm comparing it to last year's Call of Duty Black Ops, and right now it has 93,000 players playing right now, and last year at launch it was 315,000. So it is kind of not a lot of players. Probably a lot of people are still playing Arc Raiders, because yesterday or the day before, there was a big event where players need to come together to unlock a new map, and they had to work together to unlock that map, and they are playing that map today. So a lot of people are playing Arc Raiders instead of code, at least on the Steam platform. But yeah.
Okay, so That's odd though. So you're right. Both of you have mentioned Battlefield 6 and Ark there. Battlefield 6 launched pretty well, had bigger numbers than Battlefield typically does. Ark came and did surprisingly well for sold 4 million or something, right? So pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
But it's an unheard of game up to the point that it launched like a new IP, and you'd never expect a game like that to challenge Call of Duty or put a dent in Call of Duty numbers. Luke, you alluded to problems that you've seen people talk about in the campaign. I've seen people complaining that it's like Call of Duty used to be grounded and now you're fighting giant people for some reason or other. Are these the complaints that you see, and have you seen something else? And what do you think, like, what might have contributed to it having a quieter launch than previous Call of Duty games?
I mean, I think part of it is just that there's been multiplayer games that have released around it that have done gangbusters. So naturally, I think that's taken away from some of the attention of Call of Duty. I think last year, from memory, it had a pretty clear run, Black Ops 6. So, this year it's got much more competition. So I think that's probably part of the reason. And I think on the complaints, the complaints have, like I said, been pretty much the campaign stuff and the stuff that you alluded to, it being particularly outlandish. At least like clips of it. I don't know the full context for the game, but not looking like Call of Duty. Although I think that's a bit of a misnomer because Call of Duty hasn't looked like the classic grounded Call of Duty for a long time, right? Like a long time. Particularly the Black Ops series, which always kind of pushes it out a bit. But it just, I don't know. It doesn't seem to have landed as well as in the zeitgeist as maybe I would have thought. But
okay, fair enough. Next year's Call of Duty, is presumably going to launch within a week of Grand Theft Auto 6. Is that the end of the Call of Duty IP as we know it?
They'll retire it after that.
So, no, I think Call of Duty will probably move to October because of GTA 6. I think there is a lot of people that play only Call of Duty play also GTA. Because we know that a lot of people that play Call of Duty, they just play Call of Duty and maybe FIFA. But when GTA comes, you will have a lot of those casuals playing Call of Duty. So I think they will move it a month before GTA. But it's not the end, no. Even with this bad numbers on Steam. It might be just big numbers on consoles, which is most likely.
Okay, and the two of you, obviously it's only been out for a couple of days. Do you have plans to pick it up and play? You've both got Game Pass, it's sitting there right there. So are you gonna download it and give it a go?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Ooh. Cold.
I was planning to play it with you, Asa, because it has that co-op mode. They never had co-op before, and
that's so sweet.
We were planning to play it.
Yes,
we were planning to play it a long time. I would say.
Yeah,
but I would play it only for that co-op mode and the community games.
Oh, Joe's just showing up saying he's played the current Call of Duty and it's terrible. Joe, when you can, elaborate if you can. Tell us what makes you say that it's terrible. Like, what is so bad about it? And we can go with that. In the meantime, as we haven't played it yet, let's talk about Horizon. Horizon, the massively multiplayer online RPG from PlayStation Studios and NCSoft, or Nixon, or I can't remember who it's from. It's from someone at NCSoft, I think, that is releasing exclusively on mobile and PC. Luke.
Oh, PlayStation.
It's not releasing on PlayStation. This PlayStation Studios game for this tentpole PlayStation IP. Why? What's happening? Luke.
Me? No, yeah, I don't know. Yawning. I think it's it was weird that it's not coming to PlayStation 5 in one sense. Perhaps not as weird in another, because it's very clearly a game targeted at almost a completely different audience to some extent, and also a different region. I think this is a game targeted probably towards Asia more than it is the broader West. So, you know, I was quite impressed to some extent with the gameplay that they put out there. It actually looks really nice. I think it's maybe using UE5. It's not using Decima, which is really interesting. Probably just because the structure of Decima isn't like set up for the type of game they're making there. But yeah, I don't know. I think they said a couple of days ago that they've kind of heard the response. This is NCSoft or whatever it is. They've heard the response kind of around the PlayStation version, so they're looking into that. But I think even on the PC version, it's not like a native PC game. It's like a PC game running through what is effectively a mobile emulator or something like that. So, it's basically just a mobile game. And I think it looks really nice. We'll see if they bring it to PlayStation consoles as well, but yeah, I just think it's a different product for different people than PlayStation gamers generally. In the same way, a lot of the big Asian MMORPGs that are only mobile only are. So it's just that this one obviously has a recognizable console franchise. It is. So
on your point there, though, so the mobile games, Genshin Impact is the obvious example of another one, and that's actually done very well on PlayStation. Do you think could part of this be because it's such a big tentpole IP, there will be certain expectations that they know they're not going to meet, so they're kind of protecting the IP by not releasing it on PlayStation, or is that just grasping at nothing?
Possibly. No, I think there's maybe something in that. Maybe it's just that they, this has always been a mobile developed game first, and that's what they were targeting. And maybe there are a lot of practical hardware implications about bringing that kind of experience to a console. Particularly stuff like control scheme and stuff like that. So maybe they've looked at this longer term and they will bring it to consoles, and they always intended to, but they just didn't quite expect the reaction to be of a particularly vocal outcry about it not being there at launch. So I don't know. There could be there's a myriad of different reasons why it might not be coming to console, or why they thought that they haven't announced it for console yet. But my sense is just that it is such a different game, and they just want to kind of put it out there and experiment with it a little bit. I actually think it could do quite well. I think it looks quite nice. Much will depend on how gachery it is and how much it's able to pick people up and keep them engaged, but looks okay.
I mean,
Yep. It's so I'm not a Horizon fan. Not because I played them and hated them or anything like that. I played a little bit of the first one, and I was not in the mood of playing it, so I stopped. But I think this game looks impressive. Like, if you showed me this game and you did not tell me that it's a mobile game, I will I would not know that if you just showed me the game. It looks really good. It has even really good reflections based on that water stuff. It's weird that it's not on PlayStation and it is on PC. I guess a lot of PC players do play gacha games and do play what is it called, MMO games. But it doesn't. I don't know. I think it can work on PlayStation if they ported it, but maybe because it was NCSoft and they don't have experience with consoles, they did not make it for the consoles. Did they? They did have.
I see. I don't want to say because I'm not actually. only half paid attention again. I don't actually know that it's NCSoft. I don't know who it is. In my head, I've put it in the same basket as Genshin Impact and Endless Zone Zero and all of those, but it might not actually have any connection to those developers whatsoever. So I don't want to.
No, they make Guild Wars. It's
Oh,
Guild
it's them.
Wars, right?
Is it?
Yeah, it's them. Yeah, it's them. So yeah, it's that's why maybe they did use Unreal Engine, because they don't know how to use that Decimage. Makes also sense. I like it. I like what I see. I might actually play it just to try it. Just try. Just because it is a free to play gacha game.
I liked it in the
would still
trailer
try it.
rather than try and make up realistic or humorous player names. Or do the Ubisoft and have like this weird scripting over the top with like awkward stuff. They've just gone with user 2, user 3, and user 4 as the other players. Yes, very natural. We like it.
And they did not do. I think that there is not a lot of cinematics going on. They just showed us the game. This is the game. Not a lot of fancy cinematics that will not represent the gameplay experience. Just pure gameplay. Good.
Cross-platform for mobile and PC brackets. Purple. I'm assuming that's like the emulator or whatever.
Looks better than Monster Hunters.
I mean, it look like mobile games have come a long way, haven't they? I'm still not going to touch them, but go on, user 2. Oh, he's doing well. Okay, what else do we have topics-wise? What have we got for today?
There is the Fallout anniversary that just.
That's it. I knew there was one more that we mentioned. So, Fallout 4, everybody's favorite. I don't think it's even everybody's favorite Fallout game, but it's a big Bethesda game that did reasonably well for itself. At least sales-wise, it did big numbers. It's been remastered before. Now we've got an anniversary edition, so I guess we're 10 years on from the release. Wow, that's a long time. Is it 10 years? Is it 10-year anniversary edition?
Yeah. 10 years. Yeah.
Blimey. That's come out, and for a lot of people, it doesn't even play. So the anniversary edition is a very simple re-release with the DLC and some user-created content packed in, ready to go. And some people were excited to jump back in and play Fallout 4 again after a 10-year break, and they were disappointed because they tried to fire it up and it crashed, or had other wild bugs, or they fell through the world, or it's been a bit of a disaster release. Bethesda have gone, you know what people love about Bethesda games? All of the bugs. Let's give them those in the anniversary edition.
A true celebration.
A true celebration of the essence of Fallout. Bit of a disaster. Have you given it a go? Are you planning to? Do you like Fallout? How is a 10-year-old game re-released in a broken state? What's happening, Luke?
I won't be playing it because I didn't like Fallout 4 when it launched. I don't really like Fallout generally. So no, won't be playing it. Definitely won't be playing this one because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I don't know how they've messed it up, to be honest. As you say, it's just the original game effectively with the DLC included. So quite how that has then ended up not working or crashing. The game bugs are game bugs. Like I'd expect nothing less from Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
But it just not functioning as a product is pretty terrible. Like if the Oblivion remake would have come out and had like kind of that sort of stuff, I would have at least understood to some extent, because it's like running a UE5 kernel and like the Gamebryo stuff at the same time, and like there's a lot that could go wrong there. But that actually, even though that had its own performance problems, that seemed a bit more stable than this is, which is quite remarkable. So I don't really know what's happened there, but yeah, it's like I said, there could be no better tribute to the legacy of Bethesda than their game not working, even though it's just the same game they released 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what's worst? They did this last year. Like last year, they had the next gen update, and that was broken. So 1 year later, they decided let's break it even more, because they did not fix the last year next gen update. They did not completely fix it, but they did not also add the stuff to it. Like they did not improve the graphics. just mods, like just mods. How can you like mess that up? Like I don't know.
It's
That
just
must be
Bethesda.
really
That's your answer. That's what they do. They just do this stuff quite regularly. So
and
Wonderful.
and they have the audacity to just charge $60 for the full edition, like with the mods that they are adding that they did not make. They just added mods.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a disgruntled mod maker that put in whatever's broken the entire game and just slid it under the rug. Was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, who knows? Bit of a disaster, bit of a shit show. Didn't even know it was coming out. Hasn't hurt me personally in any way, but yeah, things that are going on. Shall we grab our community questions? I don't think we've got many community questions today, but they're always good fun. So, I don't know, was there anything else to throw in while that comes up? Like we covered everything, the entirety of the gaming
to Half-Life
sphere.
3 next week.
Half-Life 3 next week, apparently. I see.
Yeah.
I think it is happening. People must
have to believe. We just have to believe. Yeah.
Happening and not a VR game. What a travesty.
It will have some VR components. I'm interested to see how they tackle explaining the ending of Half-Life Alex.
They don't need... Oh, Alex. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it will happen. Maybe not next week, but it will happen.
Good. Right, our first question is FTW. For Luke, it says, since Acer still doesn't have Shinobi, what a coward and a wanker.
Gosh.
Right, no FTW questions, but we'll finish this one off as it's already there. I was wondering if you've beat it yet, and if so, a score maybe, as in a review score, as in what ranking he's got across the game. And if he's mentioned it before... Oh, if you've mentioned it before, sorry for the question. Right, so have you finished Shinobi? Do you love it?
Yeah, I did finish it. I finished it about a month ago now. Yeah, the last boss is tricky at points, but I eventually got him, so that was good. Yeah, and I really loved it. I think if I was to score it, I'd give it like out of 10, like an 8.5, 9, something in that range. It's an excellent game. Excellent. Really, really good game. So yeah, you should get it, Asa. It's good.
I do plan to.
You know, all the other stuff.
Finished all the other stuff. I don't play games anymore. I've moved on to my next phase. But yes, when I finish making games, I'll get Shinobi.
Games. Yeah.
That's fine. I am neither coward nor wanker, and those are terms of not endearment by any means, but they're for people that play stealthy, like, which I do not. Johnny has asked, Johnny, what's your most anticipated game for the remainder of the year? Are there more games coming out this year? Aren't they supposed to stop now?
No, there's a few more. Half-Life, that's yeah. God, can you imagine if that dropped this year? We get an announcement this year, that would be pretty seismic.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, I don't know which ones. So I'm really looking forward to Metroid Prime 4, but some of the badly, didn't stuff.
It?
Yeah, well, I think it previewed badly, really, in a single respect, which was this Miles McKenzie side character that the game has. Like everything around, like other than that, was previewed well, you know. From visuals to gameplay and all that sort of stuff, but this side character that apparently, like, you know, does that quippy, speaks to you, kind of points out puzzle stuff to you thing, that really just does not go in a Metroid game at all. And I think the worry and the unknown is people don't know if that character is with you for, like, just for a portion of the game, or whether they go through you, you know, for the entirety of it. If it's a portion, it's not too bad, but I guess if they do it for the full game, that could really drag that experience down hugely. So I have a bit of trepidation about that. So I have a lot of trust in Retro because they're a great studio. So I don't think they'd do something that stupid, but you never know. So yeah, I am really looking forward to that. And then I'm really looking forward to Routine, which comes out next month, which I've been looking forward to for about 17 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, that
and
one.
It's finally coming out.
It's actually this month.
Is it this month? I thought it was December. I thought it was like sometime in December, like early December. If it is this month, great.
This year, either way, it still counts.
It's this year, yeah. So, yeah, really looking forward to that one. There might be. I'm trying to think if there's others. I've probably forgotten one or two, but yeah, those are the two.
Deadpool VR comes out
next.
Just thinking of games that come in. It's not that high on my list either, but it's there. My most anticipated is still Final Fantasy Tactics, which came out a couple of months ago, and I've not got as far as playing it yet. Amin, are you anticipating anything else that's coming out this year?
Deadpool VR, Thief VR. That will be nice in VR. What else? Metroid. I'm interested in Metroid, although I had some bad experience with the first remaster. I'm hoping this one is good. Do you know if the previews said anything good about the open world? Because that was something that people were like.
Yeah, I think they didn't like the bit they were exposed to was in the previews was fairly limited, and it seems like all it is just a bridge between the next like hub area, right? Like the next proper zone, and that you could potentially go between them, and you might need to go between them to like say, you unlock a new ability in one, you need to go back to the other, you would travel in these areas, and there's some combat and some small things, but it doesn't sound like it sounds a bit like how Gears 5 maybe tried to do, like their open worldy bits where like they're kind of open areas, but there wasn't really much in them, and they were just meant to kind of window dress everything else. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it's elaborate or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, those were the only games I think that are left that I'm interested in. Deadpool, Thief, and Metroid. That's all.
I've probably forgotten something beautiful, but
coming out. Don't think so. I'm looking at the Steam calendar. At least Steam doesn't have something big coming out.
Okay, well, let's have the next of our illustrious questions. If there are more questions. Oh no. Are there more questions? Have we got more questions? I didn't really answer on the most anticipated game because I don't know. Joe, Hodl Shark, what game are you making, and is it on Steam yet? No, Joe, I've only started learning how to do things over the last week or two. It's going to be years because I'm ambitious and I'm going to make lots of stuff. I'll tell you more about it when there's a little more to tell. I did talk about it a little bit on Q&A on Tuesday, but only a little bit. Need to keep it slightly vague as I move along. But when it gets to a point where I have anything to show, then I will be all over it on Discord because I'm hyper fixated and enthusiastic, and I've been staying up until like 2 or 3 in the morning every day for this week because I can't stop getting on with it, which is something I haven't done. I used to do that playing games. If I was really enthusiastic about playing a game, I'd just stay up and stay up and stay up until, oh shit, all the time's gone. That's what's happening to me at the moment, just on learning and making. Time just flies, and then I go, oh shit, it's like gone. It's gone too. I should be asleep. So I'll keep at it until I've got something to show you.
I'm sorry to shift back into the prior question, but I actually forgot that Terminator 2D is still coming out this year, which I'm super looking forward to. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Oh yeah, that looks nice. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't got an answer for this one. What's the panel's favourite Max Payne game? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Ooh.
It's 2 for me.
Yeah,
by a fair distance. Yeah.
I think gameplay wise, 3 is the best, I think.
Just turned his
One
nose
is
up at
still
you.
special. One is still special because it was the first one. So yeah, I don't remember a lot about 2, so I can't talk about that. Yeah,
I haven't played any of them, so my favorite is the same one as Luke. Picking sides here.
That's a good choice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best answers we've got for the Max Payne one. Let's have. Are there any more questions, or is that all of the questions? I think. I don't think. Like, I rarely think. It's a big problem. But
yeah.
FCW, will anyone be buying Marvel's Cosmic Invasion when it drops? I had a great time with the demo. Is that this year as well?
Yeah, that's next month.
Next month.
Yeah.
Turns out there are a few more games coming out this year. Are you two getting on it?
Yes, 100%. I played the demo and I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Not really. I'm not gonna get it. I did play the demo. I like it, but I don't think I have time to play it. I have other games to play. I still have to finish Ghost of Yote. I still have to go back to Battlefield campaign. I need to play Chronos, Silent Hill F, Silent Hill 2 from last year.
All right, calm down. Fair enough. It looks good. I didn't play the demo. It looks good though. I would like to play it, especially if there's groups getting on and doing it co-op. But I am busy, so I don't know if I will do this. Like you say, a lot of other games to play. But let's do the classic question. Tom's not actually here today, but his question has come in as you would expect. Luke, what's not to like this week?
That Valve still haven't told us about Half-Life 3, but they've announced 3 bits of hardware. That's not to like. Like we need to just rip the band-aid off. Tell us either way.
And they did not call it the GameCube.
GameCube.
Yeah, the GameCube. Yeah,
and it doesn't have a handle, which is, you would have got all of those GameCube fans if you stuck a handle on the thing. But no, I mean, you can't have the same one. What's not to like this week?
I think graphic cards, like GPU manufacturers and console and Steam and all of those cheapen out on VRAM. Like 8 gig is so little. I think they should go now for 12 as the minimum, because a lot of games will not play on 8 gig VRAM. So,
okay. Mine is flick stick aiming.
Fuck you.
just because it would get a reaction like that.
Listen, it's the evolution of controller aiming.
Yeah, we'll see.
Next one.
Next one is for you. I mean, are you playing? Are you even playing Ghost of Yotai?
Yeah, I'm still playing it.
Why haven't you finished it? We asked you what you've been playing this week, and you haven't touched it this week, or you would have mentioned. So you've dropped off. You've left it behind. You don't like it. You hate Ghost of Yotai.
No. I like Ghost of Yotai a lot. I like it. It's kind of relaxing based on its environment and all of that. Like, I really like it. It just Ark came, and I just spent 100 hours playing Ark in less than 2 weeks. So yeah, I need to get back to it.
Okay, fair enough. That is, I do believe, all of our questions for the week. So that means it is wrap-up time. So thank you, everyone that's come through and listened, spoken to us, and given us questions and all the kind of things that you always do. We will be in Discord, so drop in there and keep talking to us. Amin, it's time to close up. So say to people whatever you want to say to people.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for having me on this lovely panel. I love talking to you, and this is my first time talking to Luke in a podcast, and I was looking forward to doing that. And I was hoping Deadly was with us as well, but he's sick, so wish him well. Hopefully he feels better soon. But thank
Indeed.
you everybody for watching us, and yeah, follow, get on the Discord, subscribe if you did not do that yet, and yeah, support ASA, support Gaming Arcadia. That's it.
Nice done, Luke.
It's me.
Go.
Nice, nice layup there. Yeah, pleasure as always. Yeah, great to chat to Amin properly, which is awesome as well. And I think we're both just waiting for Half-Life 3 now. So yeah, Gabe needs to stop buying £500 million super yachts and get this game
Did
out.
you see that?
Taking the piss.
I saw PC Gamer report on it yesterday, and it was weird. Why PC Gamer is reporting on 500 million?
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, he needs to start taking the piss now, and actually produce a game. So yeah. Other than that, go and join the Discord.
Fair. That's the message. Join Discord, talk to us there. It's good fun. Thank you everyone. Like I say, we'll be back. Are we back next week? We'll probably do one next week. There'll be the usual run of stuff going on in the week as well. So hopefully see you there for some of it. In the meantime, enjoy your evenings, weekends, games, and all the rest of it. And see you then.